Now, the first image from the world's most powerful space telescope, James Webb, is here. The image, which shows
a mysterious interstellar object hurtling towards our solar system, exciting scientists across the globe. While many think it's just a comet, some theorizing a possible alien origin.
It began with a single image, an image that wasn't just a window into space, but into something that felt impossibly bigger than us. When the James Webb Space Telescope locked its gaze on a small, nameless traveler drifting through the darkness, no one expected the silence of the universe to break. Yet in that moment, something extraordinary stirred. A grainy trace of light, almost forgettable at first, suddenly carried the weight of a revelation. The object, later named 3IATLAS, wasn't just another rock or comet wandering between the stars. It was moving in a way that shook the very foundation of reality itself. And the more astronomers looked, the more their certainty began to crumble. Imagine the hush in that control room when the numbers first appeared. People who had dedicated their lives to studying the skies sat frozen, staring at screens that told them something they were never supposed to see. The readings whispered of an object that didn't just challenge our understanding, it defied the single, untouchable rule of the cosmos. It was moving as though light itself could not catch it. Faster than light, a phrase so heavy with meaning that even speaking it aloud felt dangerous, like saying something forbidden, like admitting that the universe had been lying to us all along. For generations, we've lived under the ceiling of a law written by Einstein himself, one that told us light was the ultimate speed, the great barrier that nothing with mass could cross. But what happens when the universe sends something across that line? What happens when the data refuses to bend? When every calibration, every check, every desperate attempt to explain it away only circles back to the same impossible truth? In that moment, staring at a glowing streak on Webb's sensors, humanity was forced to ask, what if we've been wrong? The object itself seemed unremarkable at first glance, small, dark, tumbling through the infinite night. But the way it moved told a different story. It did not creep, it did not drift. Against the star-studded canvas of space, it blazed, carving a path that no comet, no asteroid, no fragment of dust ever should. Astronomers called it 3IATLAS, but the name did nothing to contain the storm it carried with it. Each calculation pushed it further beyond the realm of ordinary physics, until the only way left to describe it was with words we had reserved for fiction. It was as though we were watching not a rock, but a secret, tearing across the fabric of existence. In quiet offices and sleepless laboratories, scientists wrestled with explanations that collapsed the moment they were spoken aloud. Was it an illusion? A trick of perspective, like those cosmic mirages that make jets of light from distant galaxies seem to outrun themselves? But this was no jet. This was a body, compact, solid, carrying the scars of its birth from some faraway system. A traveler made of rock, ice, and something else, something we had never seen before. And then came the whispers. If it wasn't natural, could it be something more? A message? A machine? The possibility hung in the air, unspoken in the halls of academia, but alive in the minds of those who dared to wonder. For decades, the idea of alien technology had been tucked away in the corners of science. Too wild, too risky to voice. But now, with an object burning across the solar system at impossible speed, those whispers began to sound less like fantasy and more like an echo of something waiting to be acknowledged. The truth is, no matter how much math we throw at it, no matter how many theories we build to cage it, 3IATLAS refuses to fit. Its speed, its composition, its very presence defies every neat box we've built around the universe. And that is what makes it terrifying and beautiful. Because in this fleeting visitor, in this interstellar stranger that should never have been possible, we see a glimpse of something greater. A reminder that the universe is not ours to tame. It is wild, it is strange, and it has secrets it has not yet decided we are ready to learn. When Webb caught that first image, it didn't just give us a picture. It gave us a crack in the wall we thought could never be broken. Through that crack spilled a light not from the object itself, but from the questions it left behind. Could faster-than-light travel exist, not as a dream, but as a natural truth? Could this traveler be a messenger of a physics beyond our own, or a construct from minds that have already solved the riddle of the stars? Whatever it is, one thing is certain. The universe has just whispered to us in a voice we cannot ignore. And that whisper feels like the beginning of something vast, something that may change everything we believe about space, time, and our place among the stars. As the days passed, the discovery of 3I/ATLAS spread quietly at first, like a secret scientists weren't ready to share with the world. Behind closed doors, data was checked and rechecked, but every core section only sharpened the truth. It wasn't slowing down. It wasn't bending to the rules. The object was writing its own story across the cosmos, and humanity was nothing more than a startled witness, watching history being rewritten in real time. Some of the brightest minds on Earth tried to tame it with theories. Maybe it was powered by something unknown, a kind of fuel no one had imagined. Others thought it might not be moving faster than light at all, that maybe the laws weren't broken, but bent, twisted by something we couldn't yet see. But deep down, in the silence between their calculations, one thought lingered. If this was real, then nothing about our universe could ever be the same again. Telescopes around the world turned their gaze to the tiny traveler, and every observation added another layer of strangeness. Its path wasn't random. It wasn't tumbling aimlessly. It was too deliberate, too precise, as though something unseen was guiding it. A cosmic accident could not explain it. The object seemed to know where it was going. That possibility, though too outrageous to admit in official reports, sent a chill through everyone who studied it. And then came the light. For a brief moment, 3I/ATLAS shimmered, a faint glow rippling across its surface. Some thought it was reflected sunlight bouncing from strange angles, but others saw it differently. It looked alive, like energy flowing from within, like the object itself was pulsing with a heartbeat older than our world. The glow faded as quickly as it appeared, but it left behind an unease that no one could shake. It was as if the object had looked back at us, acknowledging the attention it had drawn. Speculation spilled beyond the walls of science, spreading into late-night conversations, into hushed radio shows and online forums. Was this truly a natural body, or had we just glimpsed the signature of something far more profound? Some claimed it was an ark, carrying secrets from a civilization older than Earth itself. Others whispered that it was a scout, a probe, a silent messenger sent to remind us how small we really are. But amid the wonder and fear, one truth remained undeniable. It should not be here. Objects like this do not casually appear in our skies. The fact that it had come from beyond, racing across the stars with a speed and purpose beyond comprehension, meant that we had just brushed against something infinite, something not bound by the same rules we thought were unbreakable. In the stillness of those long nights, as telescopes tracked its impossible flight, there was a growing sense that 3I/ATLAS wasn't just passing through. It was leaving us with a choice: to look away and cling to the safety of what we know, or to confront the terrifying beauty of the unknown. Because once you see something like this, you can't go back to believing the universe is simple, predictable, or ours to command. The truth is, we are fragile passengers on a pale blue dot, orbiting a star in a corner of an endless ocean. And now, for the first time, that ocean has tossed something to our shores, a fragment of its deeper mysteries. A reminder that we are not at the center and perhaps not alone. 3I/ATLAS continues its journey even now, slipping further into the black, carrying with it the weight of questions that haunt us. Where did it come from? What force propels it? Was it chance that brought it near us, or intention? And perhaps the most unsettling question of all, if it was meant to be seen, then why now? Why us? Whatever the answer, the universe has broken its silence, and what it has shown us may only be the beginning. As weeks turned into months, 3I/ATLAS slipped further from our grasp, a fleeting visitor vanishing into the dark. Yet the shadow it left behind grew heavier with each passing day. For some, it was nothing more than a puzzle, a strange anomaly to be filed away until the universe offered more clues. But for others, it was something far more profound. A reminder that the cosmos is alive with mysteries we are only beginning to glimpse. Astronomers kept chasing it with their instruments, desperate to catch every flicker, every trace of light before it disappeared forever. But the more they studied it, the stranger it became. Its surface reflected light in ways no known rock or comet ever could. Its trajectory curved with an elegance that felt almost deliberate, and still, its speed defied every equation thrown at it. Numbers do not lie, but here the numbers told a story that no one wanted to believe. The laws of physics had been broken before our eyes. Among the public, awe gave way to fear. If something could move faster than light, then it could cross unimaginable distances in an instant. If it could travel between stars, what else could it do? The thought was intoxicating, but terrifying. For the first time, humanity was forced to confront a question it had long whispered about, but never truly faced. What if we are not the most advanced minds in the universe? In quiet conversations away from cameras and press conferences, scientists admitted what they could not publish. This object, they said, might not be natural at all. If it was built, then it was proof that someone, somewhere, had already solved the riddle of the stars. Someone had found a way to tame the very fabric of space and time, to outrun light itself. And if they could do that, then we are infants in a universe filled with giants. But there was another possibility, one that was even more unsettling. What if 3I/ATLAS wasn't a creation of intelligence, but a natural phenomenon? What if the universe itself has layers of truth we've never touched, laws we've never discovered, powers that dwarf our imagination? That would mean everything we thought we knew, the very foundation of science, was just a fragile first draft of reality. And maybe that is the gift 3I/ATLAS brought us. Not fear, not answers, but the spark of a question so big it humbles us. For the first time in centuries, humanity has been reminded that we are explorers standing at the shoreline of an infinite ocean. And somewhere, out there beyond the horizon, are truths that will rewrite everything. The James Webb Space Telescope was built to peer into the dawn of time itself, to catch the faintest echoes of creation. Instead, it may have glimpsed something that feels like the future, a signpost pointing to what lies beyond our limits. Whether 3I/ATLAS is a messenger, a traveler, or a mystery carved by nature itself, it has already changed us. It has torn a crack in the wall of certainty, and through that crack shines a light we cannot ignore. The universe has spoken, not in words, but in the silent flight of a single traveler across the stars. It is up to us to decide what to do with that message. Do we shrink back, clinging to what feels safe, or do we step forward, daring to follow where it leads? Because one day another object like this may come, and when it does, we may not just watch from a distance. We may finally reach out, not just to understand, but to answer.